So I got this rose at Lowe's for half off because it's not in the best shape. It's not too bad, but there's a lot of bug damage, basically. Needs to be trimmed. French lavender was $6. A daisy of some kind. I want to say it was an African daisy. Welcome back to the channel. I know it might not look like June, but it is June 8th. We basically planted the garden 1 month ago on Mother's Day, and I want to give you a June update. It is June gloom after all. It is sprinkling right now, so I want to get this done before we get a bunch more rain. The garden has been thriving. If you are new here, this is a garden in zone 8B in California. We do not get a lot of sun here. We get sun in general, but we are in the pine trees, so our yard in general is quite shaded. This is the best spot that we have for the sun. So far it's been doing great. I'm crossing my fingers that things start fruiting abundantly instead of kind of stalling. So let's take a look in the garden. So we actually had our first kind of deer incident this year for the garden. Behind me on this fence, we actually have some peas. We have some snap peas and Alaska peas. And I had them trellising up this fence, which I knew was a risky move, and a deer already got to one of these. So I'll show you, but it ate one of these, the whole plant basically. It just snapped off the bottom. And then this other one we have here, which I'll show you, was wrapped in the fence, and I was able to kind of gently pry it off and get it on an actual trellis. So I think it's gonna survive. This is one that snapped off just from us, like transplanting and stuff, so it's stunted, but it's gonna be going up this trellis. This is the pea that the deer got to. I'm thinking it's gonna live, and this pea was just one that was kind of stunted and growing slower than the others. It's going up this trellis nicely. So like I said, that was just a rookie mistake on my part. I knew it was a risk, and I took it, and that's a learning experience. Over here I have yellow squash and a zucchini. As to be expected, this kind of squash varieties do pretty well. We definitely have some fruit happening here. This one's been this size for a few days, so I'm a little worried that it's kind of just gonna stall out, but we'll see. But this zucchini has grown quite a bit in just a few days, so I know that's gonna do all right. I also have some cabbage in this bed, which now I know is kind of more of a spring crop, and it might get too hot for that, but we'll see. This is a banana pepper. My peppers in my other bed that I will show you are not getting quite as much sun as I think they need. We are also starting to get little mushrooms in our soil. This soil mix that we bought was basically the highest quality we could get, and I know it had a lot of mushroom compost in it. So we have been seeing mushrooms growing in the soil, which I'm assuming is good. I just planted some alyssum here just for a little flower, just for a little look, and I'm hoping this is a nasturtium. It might just be a weed. I planted some nasturtiums in multiple beds. Haven't seen a single nasturtium pop up. Also haven't seen a single bush bean. I started bush beans when I started my seeds in April. I started bush beans just direct sowed in the garden. I started bush beans in another little pot. I have not gotten a single bush bean to germinate. I don't know what that's about. You can also see behind me we have some hanging baskets. I have some strawberries going. We've been harvesting from those. They've been going well. I also got a blackberry bush from Lowe's that I've also been harvesting from. It looks a little rough, but like I don't know if I should pluck these off from where the old growth happened and kind of trim it back. I need to do some research on that. It's not that it doesn't look that great, but we're still getting Still getting new growth, so I'm not sure. It had quite a few berries on when I bought it, and we have harvested quite a few. Over here I have a little pot full of arugula that has been doing great. Some mint that I need to trim back and harvest. And then this is our salads, carrots, radishes, kale. I don't know again what's going on. Germination has been kind of a journey figuring that out in the actual beds. Just direct sowing. This salad bed went a lot slower than I expected that it would. I expected the lettuce to kind of like shoot up and grow really fast, and it just hasn't. I've also put in quite a few more sowings of the seeds, and I haven't seen a lot of sprout. And like something got to this, I'm assuming like a squirrel or something got in there. But we have a few kale plants going here, but like I have sowed a bunch more seeds in these empty spaces and not a lot. But the romaine is here. Like I know I sowed a bunch of this. This was an old seed packet, so I think that probably had something to do with it. This is just like a general kind of leafy green. Did not work, so I think I'm just gonna have to do another row of stuff. But we have some more romaine coming in. Carrots, I have no idea how those are gonna go. Genuinely just don't know if stuff's gonna get enough sun out here, so we're just kind of testing everything. That's kind of like our salad bed. I did harvest a radish, one singular radish, and it was delicious, and it did get to a decent size. And then over here I also added just some more herbs that I grabbed from Lowe's. They were on sale for like Memorial Day weekend. I have a bee balm, some parsley, some stevia, and this is my chamomile that went absolutely nuts. More here, just kind of waiting for that to flower. Pole beans, which we had to add some more T-posts to give them more room because those are thriving. These are eggplants. And then we have cucumbers here, which we're getting cucumber growth already, which I'm very happy about. And these have seemed to be really happy, which I was kind of surprised by because I just feel like I know these want sun and heat, and we haven't gotten a ton of that. I know that the sun is not quite as much as they need or want, but there are definitely tons of flowers. There's like 3 or 4 cucumbers on this one, on each of these already, and they just look quite happy. Lots of buds, lots of growth. And then this is really our best bed at the moment, and it is starting to rain, so I need to wrap this up. I picked a great time for this. 2 more zucchinis, which obviously are huge. I did not need this many zucchini, but they're gonna take over this pretty quick, I think. This marigold's also super happy. I feel like from when we planted on Mother's Day, for like the first 3 weeks, I feel like growth seemed really slow, and I was getting a little bit nervous. And in the last like week or so, in like this first week of June, I just feel like everything really exploded, especially these tomatoes back here. I have 6 tomatoes, and we have a ton of flowers and even some fruit already starting to set. These ones are getting more sun in the afternoon than these, so you can see these ones are quite a lot bigger. However, this one here on the end is the first one to start showing some fruit. So this is the Moneymaker variety from Botanical Interests, and these are my cherry tomatoes from Dollar Tree Seeds. But there's just tons of flowers ready to start, and they just look very healthy and happy. Do have a little basil under there as well. I just have these marigolds in here. Also quite happy. Things on this side of the bed, like I said, are not getting quite as much sun. But the peppers are growing, just slowly. These are jalapenos, and these are little sweet mini peppers that I planted. I just planted those from like the little sweet peppers you get at the store, and I pulled out the seeds and just planted them. They're small, but they're growing. And this is getting some new growth. I mean, they're going. They're just not getting quite as much sun. I think these are just weeds. I don't think these are my flowers, but we'll see. I also did plant another zucchini. I just threw another seed in there. For some reason, I thought these weren't going to be enough, but they're huge. So, yeah, this marigold's going nuts. But as you can see, there's just tons of flowers on these tomatoes. And like I said, lots of cucumbers starting on here. Are leaning towards the trellis, which is great, but you can see some right there. This is where I sowed like 4 bush beans and nothing. So that is my quick casual garden update for, like I said, June 8th, California, 8B. We are going to get some rain today, and then it's going to get up to almost 100 degrees this coming week. I think our high is 95, 96, and we'll see how everything does. I will give an update. Let me know if you have any tips for bush beans. I love green beans, and I intentionally planted a lot of them, and I am just really disappointed. That's my only real complaint so far of things I have tried to start. But we are happy with how everything else is going. It's very lush, it's very rewarding, and I'm very excited for the summer to see how this all does.